7-0 game.
Eagles 7, Raiders nothing. Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result had he opted for the touchback. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2? And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Kaiser White. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down.
So rare to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Whether it's him personally or just the offensive game plan, I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding the upper hand.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run with Sanders up the middle. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They never were crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And he rifles one incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down. Here's Hurts to throw. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. They're going on 4th down with Hurts. He finds his man, complete. That's Watkins. Touchdown! Quez Watkins, 38 yards. And the Eagles' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, oh, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Set to get this drive started. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. But such a costly interception, nearly a pick-6, but now they're so close they are knocking on the door for a touchdown.
And I never want to get on any team for being aggressive, because that's part of what they're...
And he's in! Touchdown, Eagles! The sneak successful from a yard out, and the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now 21-0.
The score, Eagles 21, Raiders nothing.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate any. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked them off.
Yeah, and instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football.
And Goddard's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. A great play there. A beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Eagles are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
The kick is good.
Elliott good with a PAT. And a rout is on here in this first half.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Another try after the first down sack. Carr. And my goodness, another interception. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. That is now 5 interceptions that he has thrown in this ball game. If I asked you to speculate what's possibly going on in his head, what would you say?
Well, if he's as mentally strong as I believe he is, he understands that not all these picks have been his fault. You know, some of the throws, yes, but there have been a good number of them where he hasn't been helped by his own receivers, and they've turned into interceptions. So he knows if he keeps firing, perhaps good things can happen, not just in this game, but especially in later ones.
On the move to his left. Oh, he just needed to throw it away, but instead, out of bounds he goes, and that's a sack. It's a loss of 11 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
60 Bobcat, 60 Bobcat. 60 Maverick, trap 60, trap 60.
Hurts. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. Hurts sets up to throw it. Oh, hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, you know, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Give them a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
First and 10 at the 35.
To throw, it's Carr. Buying time to his left. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
McCarr finding his former college teammate Adams there for the Raider first.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way. If they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
And the reception made over the middle. This is Bolden. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1.
First and goal at the 7-yard line.
Carr to throw again. The quick slant caught. Touchdown Raiders. Derek Carr fighting his man Hunter Renfrow. And the Raiders are on the board here in the final seconds of the first half. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 28-7 ball game. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Eagles take over first and 10.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Another try after the first down sack. Hurts. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Boy, a big play right there. I mean, a touchdown on this drive could have really put some separation on the scoreboard. Instead, it's the defense who scores. And, partner, we got a game again.
And we do have one because of what you just described. The defense that understood what was going on in this game and did something about it. They knew their offense needed some help. They just provided it. They're back in this one.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with only 4 seconds on the clock, time likely for just one snap of the football. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have, it's chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Now underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions may be in the back of his mind. They'll throw now on the final play. They're connecting quickly with Goddard. And they're going to get this up to midfield. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this third quarter of action. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble of bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And they trail here to begin the second half. What's going to be a key for them to get back in the game?
I think they're right there, and I think this game is still up for the taking for them because we always talk about turnovers. They had 2 of them in the first half, and once you start talking about if you have 3, 4, or 5, you know it's beyond difficult to try and win a football game with that. Those have to be eliminated. If they take care of the ball, they still got a shot.
He'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. On first down, Carr. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jacobs. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Josh Jacobs. A gain of 9 brings up second.
Throwing again on second down. Carr. That's going to be caught. Touchdown. Devontae Adams. 32 yards. And the Raiders are back within a score. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And they're within 7 now, 28-21. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that momentum stays in your camp.
Third down, they'll run it with Sanders. And he will have a first down as they get into the ground at the 37. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. Another run here with Sanders. They find some open field here. And he'll be forced out of bounds all the way down inside the 20. 104 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On first and 10, it's Sanders. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Second down and 4. Hurts. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming third down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of momentum. The other side is starting to gain.
And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Now back to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Simmons. And the Raiders are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. This will probably be the last play of the quarter. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2. And it brings up second down. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Carr to throw. His throw incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be able to.
The football comes out. Jacobs lost it. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. The interception was a great starting point, but now they need points pretty quickly, down 2 scores. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. He's going to wind up and air it out. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Now Carr, gotta have this one. And now here is another interception. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys have been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there. Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay. On 2nd and 12, Hurts. And this one complete to Smith. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Touchdown, Eagles. Devontae Smith, 31 yards. And the Eagles have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the 4th quarter after that one, CD. And he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points. Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence, because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days. You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, and my goodness, another interception. Picked up by James Bradbury. And the Eagles are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at about the 32. He'll start with a handoff to Sanders. unable to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. Boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. Right back to Sanders on first down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. Room here to run. And he'll wind up taking this all the way down to the Raiders' 20. 161 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Another run with Sanders. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
5-yard pickup. It's now 4th down.
Going for it with Sanders. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And the Raider D, they get the football back. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against, too.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia.
Charles, for this losing side, their heads are hanging as they walk off the field today. And really, I mean, we know why. Those 3 turnovers by that offense, that's ultimately what doomed them.
And this is what coaches preach all the time to every team that we ever talk with. Taking care of the ball on offense, trying to take it away on defense. And let's face it, when you give it away 3 times in one game, you make it very difficult for your team to get the W.